starting the recording, and I realized I never opened my PowerPoint here so I can actually share it with you. That would be helpful. So I'm just going to start off by talking a little bit about Team Cup again. Katie, did you ever end up getting matched with anybody for that?
I did, yeah. I found a team. I think you had connected me with them.
Okay.
And then she submitted up Tara Woods, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then she submitted me to the group, the match thing.
Uh-huh.
And I only got an email saying I was matched up with her like yesterday.
Really?
But she kind of sent a thing out saying, I submitted all the information, but if it, so we're just going to count on that we are a team, whether we get an email or not right away. So, yeah. So I'm on a team.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, that was the first time they did the matchmaker thing, so I was curious how that all was going to work out.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was actually.
Uh-oh. I think you froze up again. I don't know if it's me. Okay, screen went back to me. All right, I'm going to share my screen and then hopefully you'll come back. Because right now, your video just froze up, so, and I don't hear you anymore. All right, so the topic for tonight was tracking your progress and some tools and things that you can use to track progress, and whether that's just your, own fitness and health journey, whether that's your business, or any other number of things. It could just be other goals that you have with work or education, or your a healthy marriage, whatever it is. There are all sorts of really great tools out there, and I was going to specifically share one that I just started using and I am seriously in love with, and then give you guys some other ideas of other ways that you can create tools or use tools that are out there as well. You don't necessarily have to use the one that I'm using, but I can say for a fact that this has completely flip-flopped my mood from last week. I don't know how much anybody was paying attention to when I was posting last week on my personal page, but going through a very interesting lawsuit at this point, which is never a fun thing. And it came out of nowhere, and I never ever thought something like that could possibly happen to me. It's being handled by my insurance company and everything, so I'm not as stressed out as I was last week, but I kind of let that derail me. That happened Tuesday or Wednesday last week, I think, and I let that kind of determine my mood for the next 4 or 5 days, and essentially kind of gave up on eating right. Definitely gave up on eating right. I was stress eating a lot. I wouldn't consider myself someone who typically will have a few drinks every night. It's unusual that I do that unless it's the weekend. But last week I definitely did, and it was just a way for me to de-stress. But obviously those sorts of habits are never good for long term. And I realized it wasn't helping me improve anything, and probably was actually making me feel a lot worse. So fortunately, on Friday, my very first push journal arrived. Okay, and you might have seen me post about this or talk about it on Facebook. And it was exactly what I needed. And I can tell you, I'm only 3 days into actually doing the daily trackers in here, but it has just been like night and day as far as, my mood and my attitude towards work and all sorts of things. So, I don't know if somebody else just joined, but, so anyway, oh, Katie's back again, I think. All right, so I'm trying to close this now. Okay. So why is tracking progress important? Of course, there's tons of reasons, and one is for the accountability for yourself. And again, this could apply to your fitness, this could apply to your business, this could apply to a relationship that you have, whatever it is that you have specific goals that you're working on towards. But it's going to provide that accountability for you. You're actually writing stuff down every day. You obviously know more and you're more aware of what you're doing and how you're feeling, and it's easier to create goals and things to improve areas of life if you're actually tracking what's going on. Because too often, people have a bad day and they just kind of write it off and that's the end of it. I mean, maybe they sulk for a while, but then they don't take the time to evaluate why they had the bad day in the first place and learn from it. So journaling and writing things down definitely helps with that a lot. Goal setting. I know I stressed a lot at the end of last year to start thinking about goals related to your business and, what you wanted to accomplish this year, and kind of had a goal about scheduling that out throughout the year so you could attain those goals by whatever your end date is. So journaling also can help you with that, brainstorming and things like that. It helps to give you measurable goals. So along with the goal setting, whenever you're creating a goal, you want to have some way to measure it. So that could be, for example, with fitness, it could be, I want to lose, let's say, 10 pounds within the next 60 days. Okay, very measurable. Those are real numbers that you can track as you're working towards that goal. Okay. Reflection and evaluation. Again, like I said, it's a great way for you to just kind of write out and think about how your day went and actually write it down and come up with some ways or some ideas as to why your day went the way that it did, and maybe things that you can improve in the future to make sure that your next day is much better. Again, like I said, a lot of people skip this. I've been guilty of this my entire life. I mean, usually when I get home, in the past, when I would get home from work, it was like, I'm just going to forget everything that happened today. It's gone out of my head. I'm not even going to think about it ever again. Which is a mistake, because I ended up just repeating the same process over and over and over because I never learned from whatever it is that was stressing me out the day prior. Just in the last couple of days, I've really focused on the reflection and evaluation at the end of the day, and it's been pretty eye-opening, I would have to say. Improving all areas of your life. Like I said before, it could be, whatever it is that you feel is not adequate in your life, whether it's relationship or spirituality or finances or whatever it is, you can journal about that specific area to help you improve. Also provides you a lot of focus. So obviously if you're writing down things that are happening every day, you're focusing on them because you're seeing the words on the paper. You can flip back day to day and actually see what you wrote. It's bringing it to light. It's bringing it to your attention more frequently. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this specific journal first. And basically the way that this program works is it was created by Chalene Johnson. If you've ever done any of her programs, she's kind of a nut. She's done the Turbo Kick, Turbo Jam, Turbo Fire, Chalene Extreme. And I'll be honest, I have not completed any programs. I have done snippets of them before. But if you have the opportunity to listen to her on her podcast, she's got a couple of them. The Chalene Show is a good one. Phenomenal. I mean, she's got so many great ideas, and she's just so down to earth. Awesome. So anyway, she came up with this idea because she'd always been into journaling. And for years, she had been just kind of scribbling down in, journals, just kind of random all over the place. And it was just so disorganized. And she felt kind of like it was creating more of a mess than helping her to focus. So she thought, well, wouldn't it be great if I could create something that's easy to follow, the template's already there, and you just have to fill in whatever happened during your day. So she came up with this idea of the push journal, and they come in 30-day increments. So this is my first one. You can see I have my little February on here. And I just got the box of all the remaining journals for the rest of the year. So I had actually ordered a full year of these because in my mind it was, if I just get one to try it out, am I going to be more likely to actually follow through with it if I just get the one? And in my mind it was, if I buy the whole year's worth, I'm committed. Like, I have to stick to this because I already spent the money and I'm not going to let these journals just sit around and collect dust. So I just went for it and got the whole year's worth, which is probably a really good decision because so far I love it. So this really it forces you to really think about and evaluate how you feel about where you are right now in your life in all sorts of areas. So when I got to go through and explain how it all kind of sets you up to start each 30-day block, and then show you kind of what the tracker looks like. So the first step of this is basically rating yourself. And what she does is lists 10 categories in our lives. So one being physical health, mental well-being, environment and surroundings, hobbies and restoration, romance, friends and family, finances, purpose or career, spirituality, and personal growth. And she asks you to really think about how you feel about where you are personally in each of those categories right now in your life. Rating it on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is like absolutely abysmal, like just completely awful. Like, you can't even believe how terrible it is. Whereas 10 on the other end is, you're 100% happy with where you are at this point in your life. So I'm just gonna, I don't know how well you can see this, but basically I rated myself in each of those categories, and I'm sorry if it's backwards, but it's a good exercise. Sometimes you don't think about, all of those areas of your life. And I'll be honest, I'm most focused on career and my physical health. And that's just because of what I do the majority of the time. So it helps me to really focus on all those other areas too, and actually rate myself. So I did, what you have to do then, step number 2, is picking the 1 to 2 areas where you ranked yourself the lowest. So in my case, that was purpose or career, okay, that I'm feeling the worst about right now. And that includes both Prudential and Beachbody. So, and mostly just because of the stress and feeling like I never have enough time to get everything done that I want. So she has you pick out those areas and then has you start to kind of brainstorm. And she has a really nice page here for you to really just write out some things that you feel would help you better honor that area of your life. So you just kind of start scribbling some things down, some ideas, it kind of gets your mind rolling and thinking more of what are some ways that I can improve this. And once that's done, you move on to step 3, which is now to actually write out 10 goals that you have for the next 30 days. The first 3 must be related to that area that you said was rated the worst. Okay, so those are your 3 biggest goals. Then you create 7 more, and it can be related to any of the areas that you had rated yourself in. Okay, once you've done that, then she encourages you to create what she calls a push goal. And this is something that generally will help you improve in all of those areas in your life, all 10 areas. An activity or something that you can focus on that's going to help bring everything up. Okay, this part's a little bit harder. I kind of instantly knew what it was for me because of the brainstorming activity before. It just kind of like came as a light bulb. Sometimes it doesn't happen that easily, and you're going to have to kind of really think about it. But I'll tell you, for me, what I realized is this thing right here is like ruling my life. And it's actually stressing me out because there's so many notifications. It's constantly dinging and buzzing and vibrating, and I constantly feel like I have to pick it up and see what it is. Why is this thing, yelling at me? So I realized that the one thing that I needed to do was to start figuring out a way to get away from having to always have this in my hands. Okay. So that was my main push goal, was to stop needing to see that every second of the day, and to be more present with what I am doing on a daily basis. Okay. So obviously that's going to help in my career and purpose, because now I'm going to be more focused on the activities that I need to be doing every day. It's going to help my relationship with my husband, because I'm not constantly having to, ignore him when I really should be paying attention to what he's saying to me instead of acting like I'm hearing what he's saying. So it kind of reinforces everything, and it's going to help bring everything up and just make me more focused overall. Okay. Like I said, if you're struggling with a push goal, she has another page here that kind of goes through some more brainstorming activities for you. Okay, and then you brainstorm one more time. So now you have your push goal, you have all your goals set up, and now she's going to have you write out what are all of the tasks that you can put into common practice so that you can achieve that push goal. Okay, so for me, again, with the being present and not being so attached to my iPhone, one goal that I decided was that during the workday, as soon as I got into that building, that phone was going to stay in my purse. Not going to be on my desk. It was not going to be next to me. It was going to stay in there all day. I actually went in and changed a lot of my settings on my phone to eliminate some of the vibrations and the noises and things, so it wasn't going to be as much of a distraction for me. And then at lunchtime, I allowed myself about 15 minutes while I was eating to pull out my phone and check messages and do whatever I had to do, but after that 15 minutes, that was it. Okay, and then the phone goes back in the purse until the end of the day. Okay, that has just that one little task for me has made just an incredible difference. Okay, so that's just an example, but like I said, for me, that was, I probably never would have actually thought about the fact that my phone is such a distraction and a stressor in my life, unless I had gotten this journal. And just by writing all these things out, it made me realize and really think about it. Okay, then she has you do a personal inventory. So for this, she asks you a few things. What are a couple of things that you need to do less often this month? Okay, again, for me, it was playing games on my phone, scrolling through Facebook and wasting time. Then she asked, what are some things that you need to do more often this month. So I said for me, for my purpose and career, I need to have more focused blocks of time in my day where I'm focused on only specific tasks and not constantly jumping around from item to item. She asked then, what do you need to stop doing altogether if you're going to make the goal happen? Again, I said playing with the phone and hitting the snooze button in the morning. I need to not do that anymore. I need to figure out a way to not make that a possibility. So what I did is I moved my phone across the bedroom. So when it starts going off in the morning, I can't just roll over and hit snooze. I actually have to get up. So if I'm getting up, well, I might as well just get up and be awake, because now I'm out of bed and I'm standing. So those are things that I put into action to help improve those areas. Okay. And then she asks, what do you hope to feel when you accomplish your goal? So I wrote, I want to feel like I actually have created more time in my day because I become so much more efficient and focused. And I also said I want to feel like I'm no longer a slave to my iPhone. Okay. So just really great eye-opening and questions that really just make you soul search and think about what it is that has been bothering you that maybe you didn't even realize before. Okay, and then the last step is to put your plan into action. So here's where, for the rest of this month, every single day, and again, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but I kind of explain what it is. So every single day you have 4 pages of tracking. The first page has you, again, talk about the push goal, write out what are a couple of tasks that you can do to make sure you accomplish that push goal, and what are some other notes and things that you have to yourself for the day. Then on this page is a really nice schedule. You can literally write in what you're doing every single time of the day. So this is really good for me for my trying to block out specific times for things. I actually wrote in what I call a productive block. So these are all the tasks that I know I need to do if I want to keep progressing my business forward. Okay, things like making sure I'm calling clients, making sure I'm prepping files, making sure I'm putting together applications and things for business I'm going to write, all that sort of stuff. Okay, and then I blocked out my non-productive activities, things like checking my email, which, just like with my phone, on my laptop at work, every time an email comes in, it dings. And it's just a constant distraction because every time it dings, I have to go look at the email. What just came in? And usually it's junk mail, so it's not even important. And I just now wasted 5 seconds. And all those 5 seconds just keep adding up all day. Before you know it, I probably wasted a half an hour in the whole day because of that one stupid activity. So I committed to not even opening my email at work until I get to this block. So now my productive block is free of all distractions. My phone's away, my email's closed, and I can actually get crap done. Okay, so I really like that piece. Now, the next 2 pages focus a little bit more on your physical well-being. Okay, so she goes through and she actually has you write out all the meals that you have for the day, and then at the end of the day, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best. How do you feel about your nutrition today? Okay, this is going to make things real. This is going to make you honest. This is going to make you realize when you are cheating too much. So I rated myself a 10 on Monday. I actually did really well. I didn't drink any alcohol at night. I didn't have any desserts. I was really good. Okay, so that was a good day. It also has a little thing for tracking your water as well, which is something that I've never been very good at. So this has been really good for me this week. On this side, it gives you a space to write in whatever workout you did. she's got categories. She has cardio, strength, stretch. So you just fill in whatever type of workout you did, and how much time did you spend on the workout, how many calories did you burn, what weight are you at today, if you're the person that tracks your steps, how many steps did you do today. And then there's a section for comments. So however you're feeling about the workout or whatever that day, you can write that there. And then tomorrow I will. So you can write out what your goals are for the following day. Maybe that's, my workout tomorrow is blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then at the very bottom, she also has you track your sleep. So are you getting enough hours of sleep? So I love this because it's great for the Beachbody business, and it's great for my Prudential business. It kind of encompasses everything in this one little journal. And it's really lightweight. It's not that big. It'll fit in a nice purse. I take this to work with me. It sits right next to me all day so I can make my notes as I go through the day. And it's just made me super focused this week. And I really wanted to share it because I'm so, so excited about what this is going to do for me this year in all areas of my life. So many things that I knew in the back of my mind were issues, and I just didn't really know how to address them. This is forcing me to think through things and come up with solutions. So I really am excited about it. Now, that being said, like I mentioned, this is just one way of doing things. I like this because Chalene has organized everything so nicely. And the questions she has you answer for yourself are just phenomenal. And if you are interested in this avenue, you just need to go to smartlifepushjournal.com. Okay. And there's options on there to buy just one journal. You can buy 3 at a time, or you can buy the full year. Of course, there's a discount if you buy more at once. That's why I just did the whole year. That was another reason why I did the whole year all at once. But so like I said, that's one option. So lastly, I just wanted to go through some other methods that are available to you. As far as the Beachbody side of things, there are tons of tracker options in the back office, printable forms that you can use to track who you're talking to, and follow-ups for both challengers that you're inviting, as well as coaches that are on your team. Okay. I still have another tracker that I use for my Power Hour because there's just not format for that in the Push journal. So I still have that separate. I also have another journal that I actually write out whenever I'm listening to my personal development, any notes or facts or anything that I really liked that I want to jot down. Of course, you can also create your own journal. Some people really like just having everything in one spot, and they just like writing everything out in the way that they like to organize it. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, everybody's got their own likes and dislikes and things that work for them. And my last suggestion would be, so I came up the blocks, the schedule blocks that I'm using in my day at work actually is an idea that I got from the 12-week year, which I'm kind of about halfway through listening to on Audible, the Audible app. And it's interesting because it's kind of similar to the Smart Life Push Journal, where the concept there, though, is that you're planning your goals out in 12-week increments instead of 30 days. But a lot of the concepts are the same. But like I said, I got the blocking idea from the 12-week year. So that's another really good source for you to read or listen to, and to give you some ideas on how to track your progress. Okay, so I think I talked enough tonight. Katie, I hope you got some of this. I feel bad because you kept getting like kicked out and coming back in. But I will obviously post this recording in the group, so if you weren't able to see or hear the whole thing, you can still listen to the playback. So that is my 2 cents for tonight. Thanks for joining, and hopefully you got some good stuff out of this. And like I said, I'll post this in the group. And if you guys have any other questions about the push journal or other tracking methods, you can always message me or comment on the video in the group. All right. Okay. Well, thanks. And have a good rest of your night and snow day tomorrow, even though you're already off tomorrow, Katie. Enjoy the snow. Hopefully your husband will get snowed in with you, and it'll just be a fun day. All right. Have a good night.